Rick, Suzanne, what are you doing here?
Dave, what are you doing here?
Oh, you know, I work weekends.
Saturdays. Huh.
I know, right?
By chance, do you have time for an interview?
An interview. Yeah. You want to do it right now?
Let's do it.
All right,
go.
come on in.
All right. Okay. Good morning. My name is Rick Bell. I'm a real estate agent with Alain Pinel Realtors in Los Altos. And this morning, I'm here with Dave Boschken of Los Altos Orthodontics. Good morning, Dave.
Morning, Rick. How are you?
I'm excellent. Thank you.
Great. Well, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So the reason I wanted to have this interview with you here today was because as real estate agents, we're often selling homes here in Los Altos, but we also do some commercial as well. And there's very few opportunities for business owners to own buildings in downtown. Most of them are owned by just a few people and they rent. But in your case, you bought this building and it's absolutely fantastic. And
Thank you.
yeah, I think I helped build it too.
I know.
I put two kids through here, so
I appreciate it.
yeah, exactly. But I really wanted to sort of understand the genesis behind how you ended up down here. I know you're a Los Altos Hills resident, but maybe you could explain how you ended up buying this property and building it out and moving here last year.
Yeah, no, it's a great question. And my wife and I, Amanda, have lived in Los Altos Hills for 11 years. And I remember when I finished my residency in 1999, I came back to California and I wanted to actually buy a practice in Los Altos. Nothing was available. So I ended up buying my first office in San Jose, South San Jose. But I had a great opportunity about 8-9 years ago to buy my Los Altos location, Los Altos Orthodontics from Dr. Neil Ross. And at the time it was a great opportunity and we really were able to grow that business considerably beyond what Dr. Ross had done. But as a result, we were starting to feel the pinch over time. That location on Altos Oaks was 1,100 square feet. And that got kind of operationally a little bit tight. So as my lease came up and as the sort of upward pressure of the finances on the lease side of things was starting to not be in my favor, I decided to look around.
Yeah.
And I found this great opportunity, this site, which you probably know the history of probably this location better than I do, but ultimately West Valley Properties bought the property. They developed it, residential above, commercial below, and I was fortunate enough to really get in a position where I could purchase this space. Fast forward 2 years later, here we are. We moved in about 8 months ago, June of 2017, and we've tripled our square footage from 1,100 square feet to 3,300 square feet.
That's a big change, really big change.
Huge change. And so we feel like we can really deliver a higher level of a customer experience and customer service in an environment like this where we have some room to grow.
That's amazing because, you know, I've walked around your building here and it's just hard to imagine with what you've got going on here, you managed to get it done in a third of the space, ever.
Yeah, it was certainly a challenge before having that kind of square footage, but it's so exciting to be downtown. Like I've been telling people, I feel like I'm on the 50-yard line of being downtown with this massive revitalization that certainly has gone on with all these new restaurants from Asa to Citrella to the Post opening up and State of Mind, and we just saw that this was kind of where the downtown was going. Yeah. And so I really tried to focus on trying to find a piece of property downtown. And like you said, they don't really come up for sale all that often.
No, they don't.
And certainly with medical and dental zoning, it makes it even more challenging. But
yeah, so downtown Los Altos has a lot of things like that. You know, in many cases on State and Main Street, you have to be retail. You can't be offices or even professional services and so forth. And there's a lot of limitations like that. So being one block off like this, I think you really, I'd like to say you lucked out, but I think it was more strategic than luck.
I think like anything in life, just being in the right place at the right time, but also being having a mindset of being open to it.
Yeah.
And then trying to take advantage of these opportunities. And that's what I did.
And this was a shell building, so you had to take charge of orchestrating the building of these interiors. Which
so ultimately these were 3 separate suites and we broke down the walls to make it one big suite. And then we had to do all the tenant improvements. We hired an architect, contractor, same contractor that I used for my San Jose office about 11 or 12 years ago. And so obviously there's a lot of complexity that goes into dental offices, from OSHA to ADA issues,
Parking
parking
related.
related and all of that. But we got through it. At the end of the day, we're thrilled. We feel like this is going to be a great fit for us, certainly long term. And it's really just fun to just walk outside and being able to go to Pete's.
My office is on San Antonio, right across from downtown, and I take great advantage of that. I walk downtown here every day.
Yeah.
Hard to imagine not doing it. There's one thing I wanted to touch on as well. So as we joked, both my kids came through, and my son just got his braces off, I think within the last 60 days or so.
Yeah.
And they both had their traditional, braces with the metal on them. But I know you've switched over almost entirely to Invisalign.
Yeah.
And was moving to this building and the extra space, was that central in your being able to execute that new line?
I think it was definitely part of the process. I've been using Invisalign since 1999. I've been on their speakers bureau since 2000, so Alain flies me around training doctors on how to use the product. And I've always been a heavy user with Invisalign, but that really resulted in about 40% Invisalign as a treatment option in my 2 offices for about 15 years or so. And it was a couple of years ago that I just a collection of reasons, but ultimately I decided really overnight to change my mindset. And that is that I really wanted to go more towards Invisalign at a higher level. And really overnight we went from 40% to well over 90%.
Wow.
We're about 95% Invisalign between my 2 offices from ages 7 to 70.
Yeah.
So all these young kids today who are in phase 1, many of them are going into Invisalign, and we just get a better experience.
Yeah.
We just have less broken brackets, poking wires, gum issues, cleaning issues. The patients are overall happier. And we just kind of felt like, given that, and we were seeing what Invisalign was doing on their end, and they've created some experience stores, one in San Francisco, now one at Valley Fair that just opened a few weeks ago, where patients can go in, or customers can go in, learn more about Invisalign. They can have photos and get scanned for Invisalign, and then they're sent over to my office. We were just seeing that this was where Invisalign was going. And we saw that this was going to be a huge rush of a whole new population of people going into orthodontics that had never either thought about it or really just never took the time to get into treatment. And I needed to put myself in a place where we could handle that volume.
Yeah.
And what we found, certainly being downtown here for like 8 months, in terms of our number of new patients coming in and the traffic, we're up 40% year over year, which is staggering from any business growth. And we feel that that's going to be sustainable given our location, given the fact that we can flow patients through an office like this.
And I know with my kids, your being down here made it so easy too. We could kind of drop them off, run around, do little errands, come back. We weren't tied to one location, waiting around for things to happen.
That's funny you say that, actually, because it's really funny that we get a lot of kids that actually will bike from the local schools, Santa Rita, Egan, Los Altos High School, and it's just kind of interesting to me that the parents don't even necessarily show up.
Yeah.
They just ride their bikes down here, they come to the orthodontic appointment, and then off they go. Or better yet, the moms or the dads, they'll drop their kids off, then they'll go to Pete's, they'll go to Safeway, get the dinner for tonight, and then off they go. So it's super convenient for, I think, for everybody, frankly, in just having a business downtown, but having the resources downtown. And I think
you're really fortunate because let's say you hadn't gotten this and one of your colleagues had gotten this building, and then you thought, God, that's a great idea. I need to do that. Where would you go? Yeah, I mean, you'd be...
it's a great question. We're so limited in Los Altos that, as the name implies, we're Los Altos Orthodontics. It's hard to bring the business to Mountain View Orthodontics, or Mountain View or San Jose. There's definitely some constriction in that, and I think we found a great opportunity. And but if we hadn't gotten it, we probably would have looked elsewhere and tried to make it work. But
Well, listen, this was really interesting today, and I think hopefully the viewers that watch this today will enjoy it as much as I enjoyed doing it with you. So I appreciate your time.
Absolutely, and I just wanted to say this is really a kind of a cool format. And I think you're able to really reach your customers on your end in a way that has really never been done before. And I love the energy you've certainly created out of this. So thanks for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Great. Well, thanks again, and we'll see you again.
Yep.
Alrighty. Bye-bye.